Morphosis.
Welcome to Metamorphosis, a channel dedicated to bettering Dota players through informative videos. Today's video will be on the 7.07 patch. This patch is also referred to as the Dueling Fates update. The script for this video was written before the actual gameplay release and before the test client was available. Therefore, some things may change after initial release on November 1st. However, we are using the official patch notes that were released on the 30th of October. We will start with the new heroes, then we'll discuss the big changes to ranked mode and the additions and changes to the other game modes. We will then go on to gameplay updates and item changes, then finally finish up with some information on how this update will affect videos previously released on this channel. Please be aware, we do not have footage to show all the changes as the update was not published while we worked on this video. We also can't possibly cover everything because there were countless changes and many of them can't be interpreted or explained correctly until we have some playtime. We will likely have several follow-up videos in the coming days after the release explaining everything in detail. Forgive us if we mispronounce the new hero name. We tried to find how to properly say it, but the only voice line we can find of his has a thick accent and doesn't even sound like it's the same word. So we will pronounce it as Pangolier, as he is a pangolin. Eager to dash into danger at a moment's notice, the Pangolier thrives on disrupting enemy movements and placing himself in the midst of chaos. Artfully guiding his blade between cracks in armor and shrugging off attacks with his protective scales, this graceful swordsman is always ready to roll into battle. Pangolier is a melee hero with 4 abilities. His first ability is Swashbuckle. Pangolier dashes to a new position, assaulting enemies in the target direction with multiple quick thrusts, dealing physical damage and apply on hit effects. The second ability is Shield Crash. Pangolier jumps in the air and slams back to the ground. Enemies around him are damaged, and the ability grants him temporary damage reduction based on the number of heroes he hits. His third ability is HEARTPIERCER. Pangolier reads his enemies perfectly, deftly slipping his blade past defenses to give his attacks a chance to slow the target and fully negate enemy armor after a short delay. His ultimate and final ability is Rolling Thunder. Pangolier curls into a magic immune ball and thunders forward, damaging and stunning any enemies he hits. Shield Crash can also be used while this ability is active to jump over obstacles. The ability does have a brief channeling period. A slight flutter from the shadows may be all an enemy sees of Dark Willow as she eludes pursuit and controls her foe's movement with cunning fey tricks. Calling upon powers far more ancient than any scholarly magic, she binds enemies in place before unleashing the full wrath and terror of the Fey realm upon them. Dark Willow is a ranged hero with 5 abilities. Her first ability is Bramble Maze. Dark Willow creates a maze of brambles that latch onto enemies who walk into any of the 8 thickets, damaging them and applying a root. Enemies can hit multiple thickets during the duration. The second ability is Shadow Realm. Dark Willow recedes into the Shadow Realm, becoming untargetable and gaining increasing bonus magic damage for her next attack the longer she remains in the shadow. Her third ability is Cursed Crown. Dark Willow bestows a cursed Fey crown upon an enemy unit. After a 4-second delay, the target unit and any other enemy units nearby are stunned. The fourth ability is Bedlam. Dark Willow's companion Jex circles around her, dealing damage to any enemy units that get close to her. The ability cannot be used while Terrorize is active. Her ultimate final ability is Terrorize. Dark Willow's companion Jex strikes fear into her enemies, causing them to run towards their home fountain. This ability cannot be used while Bedlam is active. To save some time, we are going to read the actual patch notes about the new ranked system. Patch notes explained it very well and articulated how this will affect you as a player. In this update, we've reworked how the matchmaking rating system works for both ranked and unranked players, changing to a 6-month seasonal system. These regular seasons will ensure that MMR is both recent and accurate for all players, which will lead to better quality games for everyone. During each season, all players will earn a medal for their profile based on peak skill for that season. There are 7 different medals, and within each medal there are 5 stars of progress to earn towards the next medal. Your current medal, as well as your previous season's medal, will be displayed to all players before each match. At the start of each season, all players will recalibrate MMR, seeded by their previous season's MMR. Your current historical preseason MMR value will be recorded and selectable in your profile, and ranked players will continue to be able to track their current seasonal MMR value. To give everyone a chance to prepare, the first season will begin in 2 weeks. Dota Turbo has been added to the search queue. This new game mode keeps the same rules as All Pick, but shortens match time by granting more golden XP to heroes, making defensive towers weaker, and reducing respawn time. Turbo's relaxed rules and buy anywhere shop system allow for casual, quick matches perfect for trying new heroes and strategies, or introducing friends to Dota in a more forgiving environment. Also, Ability Draft has been updated with a completely new draft interface. Plus, players can now swap the hotkey order of abilities and chat with their teammates during the draft. Valve has also added support for 15 previously unusable heroes and fixed abnormal behavior with multiple others. Hero guides can now be viewed in the Learn tab, allowing players easy access to a wealth of communal Dota knowledge about items, abilities, and talent builds for all 115 heroes. Valve has also finally made a better system with drag, drop, and annotation to create or edit your own guides, and even publish them for other players to use. Each guide calls out its gameplay patch and which role it covers. All of the Metamorphosis guides will be published as soon as we verify they are still viable in this new update. New additions have been added to the ping functionality. You can now use the ping wheel to convey your hero's movement objectives, call out ward spots, and give the classic attack/retreat commands. Pings will now appear on both the map and the minimap, and will be accompanied by a location callout in team chat. There are hundreds of gameplay updates, both minor and major. We're going to highlight a few things we found interesting or important, but if you want to get an idea of gameplay, you should read through everything thoroughly. Here's our highlights. Each day, 10 heroes are selected automatically as bonus heroes for the day. Bonus heroes provide you with a free mango on selection that cannot be sold. Randoming no longer gives bonus gold. It instead selects a hero from the set of bonus heroes and grants an extra iron branch in addition to the mango. Repicking has been removed. The first neutral creep spawn changed from 30 seconds to 1 minute. Heroes now start with a TP scroll, and TP scrolls start on cooldown at the beginning of the game. Base shrines have been removed and replaced with filler buildings. Glyph now causes your creeps to be invulnerable for the glyph duration. Third Roshan kill now drops a single-use consumable refresher orb. Cooldown is independent from a purchased refresher orb item. Neutrals now sleep at night. They have 0 aggro range while sleeping. Illusions now deal 80% less damage to Roshan rather than dying instantly when attacking him. Illusions now benefit from health and mana regeneration. The remaining unique attack modifiers have been removed. Lifesteal and all final UAM abilities are no longer unique and can stack with all other attack modifiers. You can no longer dispel a hex, not even Slark can purge them. You can now see enemy mana regeneration values. Previously, you could only see HP regen values. Again, there are so many item changes that we can't cover them all without this video becoming insufferably long. We will instead highlight important item reworks and the addition or removal of items. Here's our list. Courier cost increased from 100 to 200. Flying Courier upgrade can no longer be purchased. Courier now upgrades automatically at 3 minutes. Flying Courier now has a Courier shield instead of the haste ability. It's a 200-second cooldown and has a duration of 2 seconds. Walking Courier and Flying Courier have had their speeds buffed. Courier can no longer refill bottle. Courier can no longer be purchased more than once. Observer ward cost increased from 60 to 80. Tango cost rescaled from 125 for 4 uses to 150 for 5 uses. Aether Lens has had a slight rework. No longer has spell amplification, but instead buffed the additional mana it grants, the additional cast range, and the mana regeneration percentage. Diffusal Blade has been reworked. No longer has charges or an upgrade. It can no longer dispel, and the cooldown has been increased to 15 seconds. Iron Talon has been removed from the game. 4-man shield has also been removed from the game. Javelin now provides 25% accuracy as well as 100 magical damage on accuracy proc. Basher procs can no longer be evaded. Monkey King Bar no longer provides true strike and damage. Instead, it provides 75% accuracy, which also applies 60 pure damage to the target whenever the accuracy is procced. It also grants 60 attack speed. Its recipe is changed to items that better reflect these attributes. Lincoln Sphere can no longer self-target. Magic Wand has been changed to provide a small amount of health regen at the cost of reduced stats. However, the recipe is changed as well, and the total cost is down to 400. Previously, it cost 465 to complete. Necronomicon has been reworked. The Archer no longer provides Mana Bird, but at level 3 the Archer now gains a Purge, a Slow and Dispel, that can target enemies only. It also no longer provides an Intelligence buff and instead gives a percentage-based Mana Regen bonus. Orb of Venom no longer dispels consumables or disables blinks. Pipe of Insight can now affect buildings. Urn of Shadow's damage type has changed from pure to magical, but has also increased to 200 damage from the previous 150. Vladimir's aura now stacks with Ring of Aquila and Ring of Basilius. Several new items have been added to the game. Spirit Vessel, with a total cost of 2,825 gold, provides 250 health, 30 movement speed, 2 to all stats, 2 armor, and 1 mana regen. This item is an upgrade to the Urn of Shadows. Its active, in addition to Urn behavior, now reduces enemy HP regen and heals by 70%, and drains 3% of the target's current health per second. Casting on an allied target now amplifies HP regen and heals by 20%, and increases the target's health by 1% of their current health per second. Aeon Disc, with a total cost of 3,750 gold, provides 250 health, 250 mana, and 25% status resistance. This reduces the duration of effects like silences, stuns, disarms, roots, and fears. And for DPS debuffs with slows, it instead just reduces the slow, leaving the damage amount unaffected. It provides a passive ability. Whenever you take damage and are below 80% health, you apply a strong dispel on your hero and you gain a 2.5 second buff that reduces all incoming and outgoing damage to 0. The cooldown is 100 seconds and only triggers on player-based damage. Kaya, with a total cost of 1,950 gold, provides 16 intelligence, 10% spell amplification, and 10% mana cost and mana loss reduction. This affects things like mana burn and mana break. Note, multiple instances do not stack. Meteor Hammer, with a total cost of 2,625 gold, provides 12 strength, 12 intelligence, 4 HP regen, and 1.5 mana regen. Its active is a 3-second channel that summons a meteor that strikes at 300 AoE and stuns for 1.75 seconds. Applies a 6-second debuff that deals 60 damage per second to structures and 115 to non-structures. The cast range is 600, the cooldown is 40 seconds, and the mana cost is 125. You have vision over the impact area for the channel duration. Meteor impact will destroy trees and the meteor takes 0.5 seconds to land. Nullifier, with a total cost of 4,700 gold, provides 65 damage, 5 armor, and 5 HP regen. It has an active ability that dispels a target and mutes them for 5 seconds. Anytime the muted target is attacked, it will be slowed by 100% for 0.4 seconds. The slow is applied on projectile impact. The cooldown is 14 seconds, the mana cost is 100, and the cast range is 600. The hero changes are numerous and plentiful. A lot of new talent trees have been added that better suit each hero, including changing a lot of abilities, and in some cases even adding new abilities, like Invoker's new Cataclysm at level 20, which is launched on a self-cast of Sunstrike. Also, lots of heroes have been reworked entirely or had new additions to their abilities. For instance, Pudge can now hook runes, and if successful, his mana will be refunded. However, we don't want to make this video too long. We will post a video covering hero updates in a day or two. We will leave a link to the patch notes in the description for you to read up on until our next update video is released. Until then, here are the heroes that have been reworked that you should read up on. Beastmaster, Broodmother, Morphling, Tiny, Viper, and Wraith King. It won't hurt to read over all the other hero updates as well. This patch brings lots of changes to the game. We didn't even cover heroes or terrain extensively, and there were things like inverse kinetics, user interface changes, and plenty of other small improvements to cover, but the script for this video alone is 9 pages long. The plan is to release 1 to 3 more videos covering things depending on how gameplay is affected. This initial video is just to show you the highlights of the patch notes. We highly suggest you check out the notes yourself, as many of the things we didn't cover could be very important to your main hero's position and playstyle. We would also like to apologize for anything we may have mispronounced. We normally do checks to ensure we pronounce things correctly, but there are not too many references for things like hero names yet. Subscribe to see our update videos in the coming days, and our guides in the near future. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, we would appreciate if you shared it with some friends. We also read all the comments to try and find ways to improve our videos and ideas for future videos, so please leave us a comment. As always, play smart and win often.